So I got 3 truths I wish somebody told me before I started homesteading. And I want to welcome y'all back to the farm. We'll get right into it. Number 1 is once you get animals, and even the garden, there's especially animals, there's no vacation. You don't get to take vacations. There's no sick days. There's no rain days. There's no cold days. Plenty of days I thought I'd be sitting by the fire. It come time to go do my chores, and it's cold as a whiz out there, especially here lately. And you gotta go do it. They don't care. There's no black and white to them. They need to be fed. They need to be watered. So I mean, that's the thing. Once you commit, and you don't realize this, but you start out, it's fine, and then all of a sudden summer comes around, your kids want to go on vacation, you have to find somebody and either hire somebody to do it, or my dad did it for a little while. He's getting old. I'm in pretty good shape right now because my kids are older, and of course they grew up here and they know what to do. So me and my wife, we go off for the weekend, they can take care of it, no problem. But it ain't always been that way. Matter of fact, when they were in middle school or starting in the middle school, high school, we had to just quit. We sold all the animals. We didn't garden. I wanted them to have that experience if they wanted it. They played football. My son played football. My girls cheerleading, was on the dance team. High school, we was doing something every weekend. Of course, every Friday night we had the game. So we made that decision, to let them enjoy that. And of course, I really immensely enjoyed watching them. I mean, it was kind of one of the best times of our lives, that part of it. And I know a lot of people homeschool and they don't do that, and it's not important to them. That's okay. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying for us, when they were there, we just sold all our animals. Basically all I did was bush hog, and I didn't really do that very good job because I'm paying the price for it now because I'm trying to get this back in order. But it's all worked out because I've kind of changed the directions of the farm 2 or 3 times, and I think we finally settled on a master plan, and we've even tweaked that a time or 2. So you learn as you go. But the main thing to remember is there's going to be no vacations. There's going to be no sick days. I mean, I'm under the weather right now, and it's been raining. I mean, I'd rather be up there watching Judge Judy, but I gotta come down here and do my chores, because like I said, there's no black and white. They gotta be fed, they gotta be watered. So that's all there is to that. So if you something to think about before you get all this stuff. And even at one point we just had like 5 chickens, and that's all we had was getting eggs, because we love homegrown, or we love our farm fresh eggs. And you can't put a lot of feed. I'd get like a big feeder and a big water, and then kind of take care of herself for a few days. But 2 or 3 days, something like that you could probably do. But if you got you got 100 chickens, you can't do that. You got to move them every day, and got sheep, and you hear the goats and all that. So that's number 1. Number 2 is that you have to be able to handle disappointment, or things don't go as planned. It's just like even gardening. Like we have a market garden. Last year it was drought, so we didn't have as good. You got to be prepared and how to manage that. Year before that, it frosted. Like our usual frost date is April 15th. I think May 10th we had a heavy frost. Killed all my tomatoes, all my peppers. I mean, it's devastating. We recovered and went on. So you got to be prepared for that. Disappointment, things don't never go as planned. Matter of fact, just now, you always tear something up too. So I tore the leg off my darn sheep mobile. I'm gonna have to fix it. I'm always breaking something. My biggest thing is I'm always losing something. I'll put something down, I can't remember where I put it. And so I mean, it's always something. So you gotta be prepared to go with the flow. got to be prepared for some disappointment. Like last year, we didn't have as good as production as we wanted. You know, the year before that, 2 years ago, we had a big flood, wiped everything out, killed every one of our tomatoes right at the peak time. And you know, we was getting ready to harvest and cash in on our tomato crop, and we had like 8 inches of rain in 30 minutes, and it flooded this down in here, all down in here where my tomatoes were. And of course, if you get a lot of water when they're fixing to ripe, and it causes them to split. So, you know, we were disappointed and devastated, but you know, we continue on. Everything usually works out in the end. We've been really blessed. We was really blessed last year. I mean, it was so dry last year, and but we made quite a, you know, we did pretty good. We had a pretty good harvest. I mean, we had to do a lot of watering with city water and stuff like that, but you know, I wish I had a water source. It'd be a lot easier. Wouldn't have to worry about that part of it. So, but anyway, you got to be prepared mentally to go with the flow, change direction on a dime. The weather, oh my gosh, you know you can't control the weather, so you got to be prepared to handle all that. So that's number 2. Be ready for some disappointment. Number 3, and this is one that was really, we had a really hard time dealing with, and that's death here on the homestead. I'm talking about your animals. You know, you watch these people on YouTube and they romanticize, or whatever you call it, put a lot of fluff into having baby goats and pigs and sheep and chicks, little baby chicks and all that stuff. They don't really tell you about all the heartache you're gonna go through. Several years ago, when we first got back after the kids were getting through school, I bought Allison a little bottle baby goat, and she took care of that thing like a baby. I mean, fed it bottle 5 times a day and took care of it. You know, it was a pretty little thing, and one day she went down there and it was dead, just out of the blue. Devastating. I mean, that happens all the time. Last year, been one of the best goats I've ever had. Just out of the blue. Just, I never, no warning signs, no nothing, just dead. Chickens, like, you know, a lot of stuff you don't prepare for. Like, I think last year it got kind of cold. We lost power for 4 days. We had just put 50 chicks in the brooder. We lost half of them because we didn't have heat. Didn't have the heat lamp, no electricity. This year I bought 30 chicks. I got a new brooder set up. Come to find out, that brooder setup stinks. Half of them got their legs trapped in between the grates and killed them. Something I didn't think about. So I lost a sheep, one of my favorite sheep this year. We lost. So just a few months ago we lost that. Of course, you know, we're not even talking about our little farm dog when she passed. I mean, that's devastating. Of course, you know, everybody has dogs and cats, and so that's one thing that we really weren't prepared for. I can remember when we first got I got 4 bottle calves, and when we first moved out here, I'm talking about 30 years ago. So we've lived here, 28 years ago. We've lived here for 28 years, so we've been fooling with this for a long time. But when we first got started, you know, there's a lot of dairies around when we first moved out here. Now there's just one, and you could buy bottle calves pretty cheap. Raise them up. What I do is buy them, raise them up, bottle feed them for, you know, 6 weeks, put them on grain, get them pretty big, and you can sell them, make pretty good money. We made pretty good money doing that. As a matter of fact, we paid all our property taxes and insurance doing that for a while because we was poor then. So, but I remember the first ones I got. Well, the first one I got, I'm gonna, you know, start small. Think big, start small. Dream big, start small. That's always been kind of our motto. And I got one and tried it, and I bottle fed that thing, took care of it, and he was just about ready to get off being bottle fed. And I worked for a utility, and it came a big snow, and I was gone from home for 3 days, and my wife was pregnant, or I don't know if she was pregnant, but she just had our daughter. So here comes a big old jet. And I didn't want her going out there and feeding it, and it ended up getting pneumonia and dying. So I mean, that was devastating. So next time I got 2 more and did them, they're big success. So I built me a little barn. It wasn't the barn I got now. It was a little old shed made out of all we could afford was some fused tin and OSB, and I made a little place for them to get. And they can feed them when they can stay out of the dry. Got 2 more. They turned out great. Made a lot of money. So next time I took that money and got 4 more. They did good. And the next time I think I ended up getting 10 the next time. And 8 of the 10 died. So devastated about that. And you know, you learn it. You have to learn to deal with it. And of course I got better and better and better at it, and I got where, you know, we could pretty much raise a calf up. I had no fears of that, even getting sick when I could heal it up. You kind of learn signs and all that, and what you need to do and make it healthy and all that. So I learned all that, and we started making pretty good money on that, and we did that for a long time. Matter of fact, my son would come down and bottle feed him when he got a little bigger before school. That way I didn't have to go down there in the morning. So we did all right. So that's one thing you got to get used to, though, especially if you're new. You're gonna, no matter what you do, best you do, I don't care if you're a genius vet or whatever, I still think you're gonna lose an animal or two, no matter what. And I try to spend a lot of time, especially when I'm feeding, so if I know something out of the way, you know, they act a little funny, I'm try to stay on top of it. But I don't always catch it. You're not always going to catch it, so you're going to have to learn how to deal with it. And it can be devastating. I mean, that's one of the hardest things to learn to deal with. So anyway, hope this was a big help. That's 3 things I wish I'd realized before we started homesteading. And we've been out here for 28 years, and like I said, we're finally gonna get this place whipped into shape. We got some big changes coming, and so we're gonna bring you along. Hope you enjoy it. Hey, give us a thumbs up, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and you'll get notified every time I post a video. We do videos Wednesdays and Saturdays. Me and Allison, we do a live show on Mondays at 7:30 where you can ask questions, and we kind of talk about what was going on and stuff like that. Every Monday night at 7:30, and come over. It's fun. We have quite a bit of fun talking and cutting up and stuff. So anyway, support your local farmer, and we'll see you down here in the farm next video.